Hey guys, it's Daniel. Welcome back. I was doing some research on Nirvana's possible fourth record, and I came across a really interesting article on nirvanalegacy.com. The author, Nick Soulsby, dives deep into detail as to what the record may have looked like and what it may not have looked like. For instance, it's been said that if a fourth Nirvana record would have been made, it would have been much more acoustic-oriented than any of the three previous records. Nick Soulsby makes the argument that if there was a fourth record, it would not have been acoustic-oriented. He takes the position that there's no real reason to believe that a fourth record would have deviated electrically from how the previous three were. He cites various examples as to why he believes this would have been the case. He talks about a variety of things as well, including Do Re Mi, You Know You're Right, and much more. Quote, Michael Stipe is clear that he invited Kurt Cobain to join him and REM in March of 1994 simply because he was scared about Cobain's state of mind. It wasn't a plan for a collaboration, it was a musical intervention. The idea that Stipe was about to halt REM's own album recording plans for Monster in order to record a fully fledged body of work with Cobain is simply unreal. REM were in studio in February, booked in again for early April. There's no time. Similarly, the idea for a Nirvana Lollapalooza Tour EP, that it was supposed to be released after the Pennyroyal Tea single, again, there's nothing except an idea for a release, no substance at all. Interviewing members of Geffen management for the I Found My Friends book, they were clear that there was nothing they recall even discussing at the time. Nirvana's supposed new release wasn't worth remembering because it never existed. What about You Know You're Right, though? It's a demo, a good one, but still a demo. There's obvious work still to be done to create a credibly releasable song. Pat Smear himself has suggested that he was told he could add parts to it, but as nothing happened, even he is unwilling to confirm that the song was deemed complete at the time. Now, it is true that on Nevermind and on Bleach, Nirvana used older recordings from previous sessions, but it seems that was a decision taken during album sessions, not a deliberate plan ahead of time. It makes it unlikely You Know You're Right was something being placed in the can ready for later. And Do Re Mi suffers from the shadow cast by MTV Unplugged. Though a titanic performance, that session was a contractually obligated TV format Nirvana was required to adhere to if they wished to perform. Unplugged, therefore, says nothing about Nirvana's own intentions, though they were flirting with acoustic segments for a time in 1993. Nirvana's albums are over 90% electric all the way. The idea of a new singer-songwriter direction, though alluring and possible, isn't substantiated by any evidence. Do Re Mi itself was unlikely to remain in its unadorned bedroom demo form. When Kurt strains for a note, it sounds more like the technique he uses on other home demos, to indicate where he'd be adding a scream in the final amplified version. People point back to Cobain leftovers to claim that the band could have cobbled together a complete work, forgetting about Kurt's strong pride in his work, his deep consideration of the final form, and selection for each album. For instance, Old Age was abandoned at this point, a gift to his wife, so no longer even a Nirvana song. With Talk to Me, there is so far no evidence supporting rumors it was played in '94. Though there is clear evidence it was so uninteresting to Cobain and the band that in the numerous sessions from the spring of '92 onwards, and all those concerts too, they didn't even attempt it. Opinion and the original verse-chorus-verse had gone missing years earlier too. The use of songs on In Utero that were actually written from 1990 to 1991 is well testified, but is poor evidence for other possible situations like that. The unknown rehearsal instrumental added to the In Utero Deluxe was so dashed off no one involved had even remembered it existed. Then there's the Unknown song that gets played twice in late '93 and at the January '94 session. Now, that at least is a credible new Nirvana song, but it's still only a minute-and-a-half shred. Alongside You Know You're Right, however, it certainly lays to rest the idea that Cobain was abandoning the effects pedal and volume. Heck, Nirvana didn't even play MTV Unplugged. One could look to his various home demos with Courtney Love to tease out future works, except nothing seen so far has been a truly credible new song. They are whimsical games. There's little to see so far, though I look forward to the eventual archive release. Others hold out great faith for Cobain giving up being the guiding force in Nirvana and letting Dave Grohl shoehorn some songs in. To be fair, at least Dave had the material at the time. Again, though I just don't see it. This was Cobain's fiefdom. He might take the odd idea, try the odd B-side, but handing over a percentage of the album to his drummer? This wasn't a democracy. On the bright side though, Nirvana were quick, disciplined workers in the studio. There's no reason to claim they weren't capable of jamming together a bunch of songs over the course of 94 to 95 in the way that MV, Gallons, The Other, I Hate Myself, Milk It, Serve the Servants, and so forth don't seem to have existed until late 92. These were talented and experienced musicians. But the question, what do the demos currently available show? The answer is they show Cobain had one unknown song he was tinkering with. He had You Know You're Right, he had Don't Marry Me. 3 data points isn't enough to draw any kind of pattern. Though, of course, the past isn't a perfect guide to the future. It's speculation. And it'll always be speculation. Which is kind of fun, isn't it?